Well, how about another blast from the past? Just in time for a new year. Hey y'all, it's April. Thanks for stopping by my crazy creative life. In this video, I'm making another cookie recipe out of this book. If you haven't seen my first video, I will put it right here in the iClouds and I will link it in the description box below. It is orange cookies, and I encourage you to go watch that if you've not seen it. And I think I've actually got them in the oven baking right now, and I've decided to go ahead and do these velvet cookies for this video, and while I'm waiting on those to finish. And it doesn't take a whole lot of ingredients either, just like with the orange cookies. So let's go ahead and get started. So we are going to take 3/4 cup, 3/4 cup of unsalted butter, which is a stick and a half, or 12 tablespoons. So any of those ways you want to look at it or call it, there's all your options. But this needs to be softened. Okay, and we'll start off by kind of blending that real quick, just enough to kind of break it up. Then it calls for 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. So it's not a lot of peanut butter, so I'm curious what this is actually going to taste like. Now let's blend the peanut butter and butter together, just something like that. All right, next it calls for 3/4 cup of powdered sugar sifted. So there's 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4. Now blend this together really good. It will go from a kind of a lumpy to a real creamy. Okay, we're getting ready to add an egg, but before I do that, I've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour here. To that, we're going to add a teaspoon of baking powder. So a teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, this doesn't call for salt, but it's got to have at least a little bit of salt in it. So let's put about 1/4 teaspoon of salt in there. That was my 1/2 teaspoon spoon if it looked big. And then we're going to sift this into our bowl. All right, let's set that to the side. Now we need 1 room temperature egg. This one does not say to beat it up first. It just calls for an egg. Actually, it specifically says add unbeaten egg and flavoring. Wash my hands. I think Christmas has about ran me out of all my vanilla. So it's supposed to be a teaspoon, y'all, but that's all I got. So that's a 1/2 teaspoon. And then I'll see if I've got some elsewhere. And then 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. All right, that's a little less than 1/2, so that should be good enough. Well, I do have this clear vanilla. I really don't like clear vanilla because it's definitely artificial and it tastes artificial. But let's just try. Okay, so that'll be good enough. Now let's blend this together really good. I don't know if you've seen it. I'll try to maybe rewind it and show it right here where I was talking about. But you can see like the shininess of the egg. If you mix it so much till you pretty much don't see any of that glossy, shiny look, then you know you've incorporated your egg and everything really well. And you need to incorporate your soft stuff before or your wet ingredients, wet. Before you add your dry. You want to make sure that your wet ingredients are mixed extremely well, because again, when you're baking, anytime you put your dry ingredients in there, if you over mix it, that gluten kind of starts forming, and then your cookies or cakes or what have you will end up being like chewy or rubbery, or they won't be real soft. So make sure that's mixed up good, and then when we go to add our flour mixture, we just barely mix it until it's just barely incorporated. I hope what I said just made sense. Okay, see, we got a creamy look now. I mean, it just went real quick from that lumpy to creamy. Now, that batter is pretty good. Now, I'm going to take the same way. Now, even though this is butter, these will probably spread, but it did not say to refrigerate them. So I'm going to do them the same way I done the orange cookies. You can go back and watch that video. Of course, these are a little bit harder to get out because that butter is soft. I will finish dipping these out and then I will be back. Since these are kind of so soft, I'm gonna smooth them out a little bit more with my hands. It will make these a little bit more flat, but that's okay. I think they're gonna spread anyway. I will finish this and then I'll be back. All right, so there they are, 30, and if you want to count that as one, it's a baby one at that. Okay, so it's the same temperature as the orange cookies, which is between 400 and 425, and also 8 to 10 minutes. With these, since I did flatten them out a little bit, I think I will start out with 8 minutes and then go from there. Okay, they're pretty blonde on the top. Again, they feel done though. And that's kind of hard to do, but yeah, they're done. That was 8 minutes. So I'm gonna pull them out. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I'm gonna pull them out and let them cool and then put them on the cookie cooling rack. Yeah, those are pretty golden brown. If I had let them go 10 minutes, they would have been too dark. So they're about let them cool completely on my pan. They're slightly warm, but we'll go ahead and let them cool, finish cooling here. Then I'll put them in an airtight container. I'm gonna taste one of these bad boys here in a second. See what I think. That's that little pitiful one. Well, I don't know what I think of them. They're okay. They almost remind me, just a little thicker and softer. They kind of taste quite a bit like a animal cracker. You know, the kids' animal crackers. What is it? Barnum and Bailey, or I think that was the train. Anyway, it's the little boxes that had the train on it. That's what they taste like to me. Except for they're just a little softer. And you just got that hint of peanut butter, but I mean, it was just 2 tablespoons, so it's not going to do much. They're not bad, they're different. If you want something that's a little less sweet and you like peanut butter, then you would like these. These are definitely a lot sweeter than the cookies that we're used to, but they're not bad. But again, 1939, a whole lot was different and probably healthier back then, to be honest. Okay, so there you go. I'm going to put these in an airtight container, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe learned something new. Or at least had fun watching me try something from the 1930s, almost 40s. But I hope you guys have a blessed new year. And if I don't see you again, then I'll see you next year. 2025. Y'all have a good one. Bye. Hey, if you like this video, you may like my last Christmas video or even last year's Christmas series.